This week from Hollywood, we take you to the premiere of Oppenheimer in London. And then we take you to the virtual talk with stars of Haunted Mansion. Next, Gigi Hadid took a private plane to Grand Cayman and ended up in the slammer. We'll tell you what happened. And it's Splitsville for Sofia Vergara and Joe Manganiello. Plus, Ariana Grande isn't wearing her wedding ring during a trip to London. Uh-oh. And then we shine the spotlight on Mission Impossible Dead Reckoning Part 1 star Simon Pegg. All of these updates and more are coming up. But first, let's take a look at that red carpet. First up, we take you to the premiere of Oppenheimer in London.
We're in a race against the Nazis. And I know what it means if the Nazis have a bomb.
Director Christopher Nolan joined his wife Emma Thomas on the red carpet.
I mean, the story of J. Robert Oppenheimer and his involvement in the creation of the atomic bomb is one of the most, maybe the most dramatic story I've ever encountered. He literally changed our world forever, so it felt like something very much worthy of a large-scale cinematic treatment.
Cillian Murphy shared his reasoning for being part of the production.
Chris has said that he's the most important man that ever lived. It was a huge role, huge responsibility. You know, my favorite director, some of the best actors in the world. It was, I have to say yes.
Next, Emily Blunt told us what she loved most about her role.
She was such an exhilarating character to even just read about. She was so exciting for that time, a sort of non-conformist and a bit wild, and forthright and not terribly warm, and it was just fun to play her, it really was.
Florence Pugh had an undeniable understanding of greatness.
Movies are designed to be seen large, designed to be listened to large. Obviously we've had our own habits in the last few years of watching things on smaller screens, but this movie was designed by one of the greats to be seen on a big scope, and you need to honor that. You need to honor the way that arts are being made.
Matt Damon was awestruck by his luck.
What Chris gave, I think, all of us was an amazing script and an amazing direction. Like, his notes are so precise and incisive and just spot on, and he just really makes everything better. So it's just a thrill to be in a movie with him, and I'm really glad Universal's putting it out. I've had a lot of success in my career with Universal. I love everybody over there, and I'm glad they're still putting big, serious movies in the theater. It's very cool.
Next up, we take you to the virtual talk with stars of Haunted Mansion.
This mansion is unhinged.
These ghosts definitely don't want to leave.
Death lurks around every corner.
Jamie Lee Curtis stars as Madame Leota. Her on- and off-screen pal Tiffany Haddish is Harriet.
So I play Madame Leota, who is if you've been on the attraction, she's the woman trapped in the crystal ball at the beginning who says, "Welcome, foolish mortals, into this ghost realm." And she's been trapped in there for a very long time, and she is released from it by this young medium who is what I would refer to as a Star Wars, since Disney owns Star Wars, a Star Wars connect-the-dot Padawan learner, young Harriet, who is a medium.
Lakeith Stanfield is Ben Mathias, and his co-star, Rosario Dawson, is Gabby.
I play a single mother from New York who's a doctor and has moved down to Louisiana, where her mom was from, to fulfill her life dream of having a bed and breakfast and being able to use that as a means of surrounding her son with different people to help her raise him. And it's haunted.
I play Ben. If I were to briefly describe Ben Mathias, I would say he is an astrophysicist who's been out of work for some time because he's been mourning the loss of his late wife and attempting to put together the pieces of his life to find his footing again. And he finds himself introduced to this family, Gabby, who are on their own journey, and ends up joining up with them to go on a larger journey to try to escape from what ends up being a haunted mansion.
Director Justin Simeon pulled it all together for the win.
I wanted to direct this film for a lot of reasons. First of all, when I first read it, I'm looking at the cover page, Haunted Mansion. I'm like, we did that, right? Why are we doing that again? Open the page, laugh on page 1. Then I laugh again. Then I start to get sad, and all of a sudden it's 3 a.m. and I've completed the script, and I have laughed, and I have cried, and I've woken my husband up, and it's a problem. But I was like, I know how to do this.
Other more powerful entities may come through.
Not on our watch.
Well, what are you gonna do? Seriously?
Yeah. They're already dead.
They're gonna be deader.
Okay.
Gigi Hadid was arrested for possession of marijuana while vacationing in the Cayman Islands. We've now learned the star had a medical license and the marijuana was legally purchased in New York City. So what does this mean for Gigi? The supermodel and her friend were embarking on a girls' trip and landed behind bars at the prisoner detention center instead. After pleading guilty, the pals were released on $1,000 bail. Gigi and her friend will have clear records, though, because medical marijuana use has been legal in Grand Cayman since 2017. And the two pals ultimately had a great time together. Actress Sofia Vergara and Joe Manganiello have announced their divorce on social media. The exes were married 7 years before making the difficult decision to divorce. The split comes a week after Vergara rang in her 51st birthday in Italy, without Joe anywhere in sight. The Magic Mike star did post a tribute to his then-wife on Instagram. Sofia and Mike are asking for privacy during this time. Are Ariana Grande and Dalton Gomez heading for divorce too? It appears so. Ariana and Dalton have reportedly been separated since January, and just recently, Ariana was spotted with her Wicked co-star Jonathan Bailey in London. Friends say Ariana and Dalton have been thousands of miles apart since December, when she started filming Wicked. They tried to reconcile, but have been unable to do so due to additional issues in their marriage. The couple tied the knot in May 2021 in a private ceremony at Ariana's home in Montecito, California. Now this is one worth remembering. In preparation for her upcoming album, This Is Me, Now, Jennifer Lopez is teasing a new single, and it was inspired by her Las Vegas wedding to Ben Affleck. The track is titled Midnight Trip to Vegas and details J-Lo's dream of finding someone like Ben to spend the rest of her life loving. The teaser was released on their 1-year wedding anniversary. The two-time Grammy nominee certainly hit this one out of the park. Next, we have sad news to report. 20-time Grammy winner Tony Bennett has died at the age of 96. The World War II veteran and jazzy crooner's career spanned more than 6 decades. He was inspired by some of the greatest singers of the 20th century: Louis Armstrong, Bing Crosby, Rosemary Clooney, Judy Garland, Billie Holiday, and Frank Sinatra among them. Later, with Lady Gaga and Celine Dion. Tony is best known for the tunes I Left My Heart in San Francisco, The Best Is Yet to Come, Stranger in Paradise, Because of You, Cold Cold Heart, Rags to Riches, and more. The native New Yorker tried his hand in movies with The Oscar and later in Analyze This and Bruce Almighty. He even appeared as himself in The Simpsons and performed his hit The Good Life on Entourage. Tony spent the last 7 years of his life suffering from Alzheimer's, and close friend Lady Gaga was always there to support. In fact, his last public performance was in August 2021 with Lady Gaga in a show titled One Last Time. Now, this is one we couldn't have predicted. Turns out Timothée Chalamet and Adam Sandler are off-screen pals. The actors were spotted playing a game of basketball in New York City. Timothée, 27, and Adam, 56, first met during production of their 2014 film, Men, Women, and Children. It was Timothy's big screen debut, and he scored a good friend out of the deal. This week, we shine the spotlight on Mission Impossible Dead Reckoning Part 1 star Simon Pegg. This English actor, writer, and comedian has been to the world's end with Mission Impossible films and lived to tell about it. Whether starring in Shaun of the Dead, Hot Fuzz, Paul, Terminal, or Star Trek, Simon has a handle on all things action. Simon also knows how to lose friends and alienate people, but Hollywood still loves this guy. He lived to tell about Ice Age and Star Wars on his way to inheritance in Ready Player One. Now Simon returns to his roots with Tom Cruise in Mission Impossible Dead Reckoning Part 1. Mission Impossible Dead Reckoning Part 1 was a family reunion.
It's always lovely to get back into this sort of family because, you know, I've been in it for 15 years, and obviously I've known Tom for a long time and Ving as well, both. And so it's always a reunion when we see each other.
There are legitimate reasons Tom does his own stunts.
If you see someone actually doing it, and you know that they're doing it, there's an added degree of tension there. There's a frisson that you have of like, oh my God, they did that. So when people watch Tom go off that cliff, they won't only be thinking about Ethan, on his mission, they'll be thinking, that's actually Tom.
Every scene was set up with purpose for the audience.
McHugh just has a really great understanding of the source material, and, he would be the first to kind of admit that he has grown as a director since Rogue Nation. And he just really understands what this is. He knows how to tell stories. He's an expert at that. Him and Tom collaborate beautifully. They have a great understanding of each other, and they really respect each other. And it's great to see them sort of work together.
Moviegoers should watch this one in the theater.
The Mission films are big movies, and the scope of them, the way McHugh shoots them, the way they're lit, the way they're staged, it begs to be seen on as big a screen as possible.
Ethan, did you make it? Are you okay?
In spite of the current SAG-AFTRA strike, we can confirm House of the Dragon and Industry will continue along their projected shoot dates this summer. Production on both programs will occur in the UK. The Game of Thrones prequel has a preliminary British cast working under equity contracts rather than SAG-AFTRA ones. This one allows the stars to continue working even while their peers are on strike across the pond. 20th Century Studios has announced the title of their Sandra Oh and Awkwafina-fronted comedy, Quiz Lady. The story centers on a dysfunctional family and the game show that might help save them all. Quiz Lady will premiere exclusively on Hulu in the US this November, followed by Star Plus in Latin America and Disney Plus in all other territories. Speaking of Disney Plus, we now have a release date for Disney's Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3 in homes everywhere. That confirmed date is August 2, 2023, 90 days after the Pixar theatrical release. Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3 is now the second highest grossing movie of the year with $842.4 million worldwide. It follows Universal Illumination's Super Mario Bros. Movie with $1.34 billion. This week on our Hollywood Box Office Countdown, we're giving you the top 5 films of the week. Here we go. The 5th ranking film at the box office this week was Indiana Jones and the Dial of Destiny with $7 million.
But a few times in my life, I've seen things.
The 4th ranking film at the box office this week was Sound of Freedom with $20 million.
So you quit your job and you go and rescue those kids.
The 3rd ranking film at the box office this week was Mission Impossible: Dead Reckoning Part 1 with $21 million.
None of our lives can matter more than this mission.
I don't accept that.
The 2nd ranking film at the box office this week was Oppenheimer with $77 million.
I don't know if we can be trusted with such a weapon.
And the number 1 ranking film at the box office this week was Barbie with a whopping $150 million.
Sure. I don't have anything big planned, just a giant blowout party with all the Barbies and planned choreography and a bespoke song. You should stop by.
So cool.
Hollywood birthdays this week have our celebrities turning anywhere from 10 to 88. Baywatch star David Hasselhoff turned 71. Star Wars offspring Billy Lord turned 31. The Hunger Games star Donald Sutherland turned 88. The Fast and the Furious star Vin Diesel turned 56. Quantico star Priyanka Chopra turned 41. Frozen star Kristen Bell turned 43. Sherlock star Benedict Cumberbatch turned 47. Queen guitarist Brian May turned 76. Killing Eve star Sandra Oh turned 52. Pop star Selena Gomez turned 31. His Royal Highness Prince George of Wales turned 10. And Lethal Weapon star Danny Glover turned 77. Be sure to tune in next week for more glitz, glamour, and news from Hollywood Newsfeed.